Hey there friends, I'm Mahir aka Shahriyar Ahmed Mahir, and I'm a 14-year-old student studying in Bangladesh and currently figuring out what to do with my life. And welcome to my channel if you're new here. So basically in this video we are going to be talking about how to drive away laziness, or like some tips that we can implement in our lives to drive away the so-called term laziness. Laziness plays a big role in our society, and everyone faces it. Even me faces it a lot, and it puts us down on various stuffs in our lives. Laziness may reflect a lack of self-esteem, a lack of positive recognition by people. It can also be a lack of discipline or a lack of interest in a particular activity. You can put away laziness through many ways, or keeping something motivative in our minds, and let me share you some points. So rule number 1, try to be fit. So the question is, how can we be fit? I'm not a dietitian or any kind of fitness expert, but what I mean by fit is that everything you have to have a mix of everything, a mix of proper health, a mix of proper food, and a proper diet. If you're just obese or like someone like me, it's better if you maintain a diet, and a mix of social interaction, and also a mix of recreational activities. All these things mixes, and that's how someone is a fit, because a mix of everything, good, bad, and everything, can make someone fit, not only physically but by mentally also. Rule number 2, correct your sleep cycle. So you see, this is a very huge problem in our society, in my lives, in everyone's lives too. And if we try to mend this problem, a lot of problems, a lot of things will get solved in our lives. Like when we take phone to our bed, it have a blue light from phone. The blue light from our phones is very harmful, and we need a cool brain to actually sleep and do the next day's work. So the thing that we can do is that we can try to turn on our airplane mode, or any type of things that can help us prevent from taking our phone to bed. It's better if we just leave our phone to our table or anywhere else before going to bed, because that wastes a lot of times in our lives. And not because actually the waste of time, it just happens something something happens in our mind which actually affects us in the next day or in the future. Rule number 3, for doing anything, set a target. So this fact is very sometimes hard in some people, and even me. But if the concept is like, yes, I will do this for this reason, then our brain will automatically work to make that reason happen for that cause. Like if you have an expectation in your mind that I can get this, or I will get this if I do this chapter, or if I memorize this chapter. So that's how actually setting a target works. And setting a target also refers to, studying or doing something very in a concerned manner, or like in a very focused manner, or the Pomodoro sessions and all these other stuffs. These are very hard, but setting a target is actually can actually help you to be more productive, and just automatically the laziness term just goes out of your brain or your body, and you can do many things. So and also setting a target also requires like some kind of locker, or like do not disturb and other stuffs, is that you can actually do your stuff without any without any distractions. Rule number 4, avoid overthinking. Yes, I can't give you a whole speech on this because I myself overthink a lot, but if you try to overcome this so-called overthinking, it keeps you from distractions. You can focus, your brain isn't tired, and you aren't demotivated, and it makes someone positive. So if you insert more positivity in your brain, and so the negative things just goes out, and the burden just goes out, and for this burden we have this laziness. So if you try to avoid, or just to remove this so-called burden, laziness will automatically go out. Rule number 5, make your goals manageable. So doing this, making your goals manageable, and just using a calendar system or any type of stuff, or making notes on what you're going to do for the next day or this day, can actually summarize your day, and your brain can focus on the specific jobs, so that you won't be thinking like, oh, I have this job, and oh, I have there's so many jobs and all the other stuffs. But hey, if you just list out and sort of the main things, your brain will feel like, oh yeah, that's not much, you'll just do it gradually, rather than if you don't do that, you might think that I have this, I have that, I have that, and it's just jumble. So what I do is that I use a calendar system for my classes, and you can also use for your classes, for your works and stuff. So it's more specific, and you have this feeling inside you that after this I'll do that, after that I'll do that. So that's how the things go, and laziness just stays, but it just gradually moves away, and your work is done with your brain in peace. Last but not least, rule number 6: recognize your accomplishments. And this is very important. I mean, not only in any work or class or anything, it is very important in your life too. Like, if you try to recognize your accomplishments or the good things that you do, it makes you motivated for the next stuff that you're gonna do. So if you're doing something and you do something good in that, and it makes you happy, or you try to just recognize that, yes, I did something great, and that will make you motivated to the next challenge, and that will also drive away the laziness. So that's how the cycle goes on, and you can move further. So this was Shahriyar Mahir on how to drive away laziness, and as always, thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing.